Hey Pokemon fans, Tama here. For the past few years, I've been going back to older Pokemon games and doing 100% playthroughs. As many of you already know, since I occasionally make videos updating you on my progress. And a lot of people ask me, what does a 100% playthrough of Pokemon even mean? How could I plan for a 100% run of a game series that's as big as Pokemon? By what criteria would you even define 100%? So today I thought we could all sit down together and I could walk you through how I plan for such a thing. And along the way answer some of these questions. This planning process takes a really long time. So this will definitely be one of those videos you'll want to settle in for. Grab a snack, sit back and relax, get comfortable. Maybe you'll find something in here that you'll want to adopt for one of your own future playthroughs. Or maybe you'll just be shocked and amazed by how obsessive I actually get about these things. Either way, it's sure to be educational. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's start by looking at my spreadsheet for my Emerald playthrough. Okay, so this is the spreadsheet that I use for my Emerald playthrough. I am still currently in the middle of my Emerald playthrough. I'm towards the end of it now, but I am sort of taking a break to work on other videos, so I'm having to play through other games right now. So I'll show you where I started with this. It actually started as this notepad file on the side here, where I just made a list of all of the objectives that I wanted to do, like all of the requirements for getting each trainer card star, any side activities that I could think of in the game that I wanted to complete, any other little tasks that might require planning. So it started with a little notepad file like this. You can see that I have all of the Gen 3 tasks on here. So it starts with Leaf Green because I was playing through Leaf Green. The requirements to get all the trainer card stars, which are to do 200 jumps in Pokemon Jump, 200 berries in Dodrio berry picking, and I have a note here that I have to do that after I finish Emerald. Fill the Kanto Pokedex, I've done that. Fill the National Pokedex, I've done that in Emerald but not in Leaf Green. And a lot of these goals are things that I pick out for myself specifically because I've never done a lot of the content in the game. So 100% for me might not be every single thing, because in a past playthrough I might have done something. Like when I played through Gen 1 again, I had already completed the Pokedex legitimately once, so I didn't make myself play through it and get all of the Pokemon a second time. Additionally, in Leaf Green, there's trainer card stickers. So there's one for hatching 300 eggs, there's one for beating the Elite Four 200 times, and there's one for winning 100 Link battles. And then I wanted to rematch the Elite Four, but that will have to happen to meet this requirement. And then completing Coliseum. As we all know, that one is done. Then completing XD Gale of Darkness, changing the battery in my Emerald, which I've done twice now. Find my secret ID in Ruby, which, it was find my secret ID in Sapphire, which I did because I started the game with a dead battery, so I knew what my secret ID was. Then there's just goals like create the Emerald team, beat the game, obtain the National Dex, build a team for Mount Battle. One of the things that I like to do is I like to build different teams for different activities, but you absolutely don't have to do that. That's not necessary. You can probably raise about 3 Pokemon to do most of the things in Gen 3 with. But one of the things that I really like doing is collecting a lot of Pokemon, raising them up, optimizing them, building different teams. I find that really fun. It's one of my favorite things about Pokemon is that you can have a lot of guys and then have specific activities that you use certain Pokemon for. So I like to go way above and beyond and give myself a lot of Pokemon that I want to obtain and raise and breed. But absolutely, you don't need to plan as many Pokemon as I do. Oh, actually, I need to cross that off because I believe I've gotten the Pike symbol now. So then there was the Coliseum and XD specific content, which are Mount Battle. There's rewards for beating Mount Battle. I ended up having to do it like 4 or 5 times because there's 3 different starters you can get in XD Gale of Darkness, and then you can get Ho-Oh, and then I needed footage of getting Ho-Oh, so I did it again. And in XD, if you're doing Gen 3, that is actually content I recommend doing, is the Coliseums in the post-game of XD Gale of Darkness. Unfortunately, they're not in a separate mode from the main game the way they are in Coliseum, so you actually have to beat XD to like participate in them and trade Pokemon over to do them, but that's the closest it gets to stadium-like content in Gen 3. I'd say that mode is pretty good, so that's worth doing if you're wondering. If you're playing Gen 3 and you want some extra post-game stuff to do, you're not satisfied with all of the Frontier stuff, you should try Ori Coliseum in XD. And then there's Trainer Hill in Emerald, which I also had never done before. That one is still something that I need to do. And the remaining Frontier symbols, the remaining ribbons, because I'm doing a Ribbon Master. So these are the remaining ones that I have to get. Then there's another little section of notes that as I was playing through the game, I added a few more things, a few more additional goals that I wanted to go back and do and not forget about. So going back to fight Steven in Meteor Falls, getting all of the contest hall portraits, getting all of the secret base donations, which was a lot of work. We did that. Collecting all of the colored scarves, which I think are contest specific items that like boost your appeal in contests. Getting all the ribbons on one Pokemon, which I haven't done yet, but I have maxed out my Ribbon Master's condition, so that's just something that I need to get around to doing. And then down here, I started a list of stuff that I would need and stuff that I would need multiples of, but I'll show you, like, basically this list of stuff in this notepad was just not cutting it anymore, and that's why I switched to the spreadsheet, because there's just too much to keep track of. There's even more tasks here at the bottom of this note, which is, like, more stuff that I wanted. I guess it's sort of like repeating some of the stuff that's up higher on the other document. It's not very organized. Down here is basically an outline of all the stuff that was in the top of the document. I think I started here just making a list of all of the possible things that I could think of and research to prepare for. So now we get into the spreadsheet itself. First tab is all of the Pokemon I want to raise. Green means that they are totally complete. I have done everything that I wanted to do with this Pokemon. They're at the right level, they have the right moves, they have their EV set, they have their held item, they are ready to be used for their purpose. Yellow means that I haven't finished that part, but I have caught the Pokemon. We'll go through this list, see that most of these are green now, some of these are gray, which means I don't even have the Pokemon yet, and some of these are yellow. And then I have a different view where it's the same list of Pokemon, but they're sorted into teams, so I can see which teams I've completed and I can go and do those activities. So first we've got like the Pokemon Coliseum stuff. That team is done. This is a team that I built for Trainer Hill, but it turns out you don't want to use a team for Trainer Hill. This ended up being my Battle Tower team in the Frontier, because I tried this one and it didn't work out. So this ended up being my Battle Tower team. There's a doubles team for the Battle Tower, which is, now that I have done the Frontier, completely unnecessary, but it's there. Battle Pike, Battle Dome, and I only need one more Pokemon to do the Dome. In the spreadsheet, I had made separate teams for the Silver and Gold symbols. If I had it to do over now, knowing everything that I know about Emerald, I would probably not build separate teams for Silver and Gold. Because I'm building these at the start of each generation, when I go into making these lists and making these spreadsheets, I am doing it based on research and not experience, because I am doing a lot of these things because I've never done them before. So I don't necessarily know before I go into this exactly what I'm doing. And then through building the teams and through participating in these modes that I haven't done before, I get the experience. And then I understand why the teams are the way they are. And I'll show you how I go about planning teams for events that I don't understand yet. So yeah, if these seem kind of weird or silly, that's why. So next tab is the items that I will need to build all of these Pokemon and how many of each and where you get them. So here is all of the TMs I need, how many of each I need, and then here's other things like the single-use tutors, because those are a thing in Gen 3, where the tutors are all located in each game. How many, I have a column here for quantity owned, but that ended up not being really necessary because as I was building the Pokemon, it just made more sense. But it was helpful to keep track of which tutors I've used, because that one is more of a pain. And then this is for breeding. These are all of the Pokemon that I own that I know the IVs of, and their egg groups, and whether they're male or female, and if they have egg moves. And then, just for fun, this is for me. These are all of my secret bases. You can only have 20 in the game, and I think you can only register 10 of them or something like that. So This helps me keep track so I don't accidentally overwrite my own bases when I mix records with myself, because I'm very cool and I have a lot of friends. And then down here is also just for fun. This is a list of different trainer IDs that I have, where they are. Because in Gen 3 specifically, it's fun for me to collect different trainer IDs. It's hard to find people to trade with in Gen 3. It's not like the online generations where you can just get a ton of them. So many of these are just me making different games and getting Pokemon from myself or buying games secondhand and trading them to myself, because again, I am extremely cool and you all want to be just like me. And then this is how I'm keeping track of which gym leaders I still need to rematch. So that's the Emerald spreadsheet. So today we're going to be building something pretty similar, but we're going to do it for Gen 4 so that you can see how I start and how it becomes something like this. And now that I'm looking at this, this feels like it's going to be a lot of work and I am regretting making this video, but let's get started. The first thing I do is I'm gonna pull up a new untitled notepad. We'll name this Gen 4 playthrough, and we're gonna make a new spreadsheet. Minimize that for now. So here we go. We have our notepad file and a blank spreadsheet. The first thing we're gonna do is we're going to write down all of the games that are in Gen 4 that I will need to find information about. Diamond and Pearl. I'm gonna make this font size nice and big, not that big. So we have Diamond and Pearl, Platinum, Battle Revolution. Another thing I should make a note of. So when I do my 100% playthroughs, I'm doing it with the knowledge that I've been hoarding Pokemon stuff for 20 years, so I have a lot of stuff already to work with. I have a copy of Battle Revolution. I have multiple copies of all of these games. You may not have that. You may not want to invest in that, and that's fine. So, you know, this complete Gen 4 playthrough, again, is really just how I'm doing this, but it is by no means prescriptive. If you don't want to do this way, don't do it this way. So, Battle Revolution, I think we need to finish Ranger for Manaphy, because I've never done that before. And I bought my copy new, and I don't think I ever got Manaphy from it. So I'm pretty sure it can still be used for that, but I will find out, I'm sure, as I go through this. So that is actually not a lot of games compared to Gen 3. That's very good. This won't be as overwhelming, hopefully. I don't know a lot about what the goals are in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. I do know more about HeartGold and SoulSilver because I have played through it before, and I'm playing through it right now, actually. So we'll start with HeartGold and SoulSilver. That'll probably be my main save file for this because it's the game I like out of all of these. In HeartGold SoulSilver, there is a Safari Zone, Pokewalker, Trainer card. I don't know if in Gen 4 you get stars or if the card itself changes colors, so we'll find that out. The Battle Frontier is also in HeartGold and SoulSilver, so Battle Frontier. Let's see what else is there. Oh, there's the Pokeathlon. We want to do that. Pokeathlon. What else is there? Pokedex completion, dated event, and that's all I can remember off the top of my head. So what we do now, we're gonna open our web browser and go to Bulbapedia. So we're gonna start on the main page for these games because we're gonna be able to go through and kind of like see a summary of what's in the game. And this seems like a no-brainer, but it's just really helpful for keeping track of like all of the stuff you might want to do. So, okay, now we're logged into Bulbapedia. Okay, so this is going to be really helpful just to give a summary of everything that's in the game. And there's a lot in the game because it's a remake of Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Now, I guess I have to decide here if I want to try and do all of the everything again because I've already 100% completed Crystal. Well, I guess I might as well. So we'll put Buena's password on here. Level 8 of Voltorb Flip. Gotta clear level 8. What else is there? The Unknown Dex. Yeah, I think that's everything. I mean, I'm sure that's not everything, but that seems like a good place to start. Ooh, there's the gold crown, the leaf crown. Golden leaves. Should we try and get it for all of our team? or just one Pokemon? In my original playthrough, I got it for one Pokemon specifically. There are secret boxes, so we'll get the secret boxes and egg, secret or box wallpapers. What else? Oh, there's a whole new set of berries, so we'll put get all berries on here. That's one of the sub goals for my Emerald playthrough, was to get 100 of each type of berry, which I have not done yet because you get 2 berries for getting all silver and all gold symbols in the frontier. We gotta get all the power items. Those are a thing. PBR's there, Wi-Fi connection, Pokewalker, mystery gift, Poke transfer. Oh, that's for Gen 5. Okay, now we've got a good list of events. We might have to look up some of these events to get an idea of this, like what all is entailed in here. Another thing we need to do is look at the trainer card stars. So let's look up trainer card in the game, and we will go to Generation 4. So new to Gen 4. Okay, is there a list of the stars? Here they are. Main article, trainer card level. Oh my god, there's a score. Oh my god, we gotta get our score maxed out. Trainer card score is a category, and the subcategories are... I wonder what the max score could be. I mean, we're gonna do all of these at some point. I don't know if this deserves subcategories. Let's go to trainer card level and see what the requirements are. So for Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, since we also need to know for these, Diamond and Pearls are... Man, you had to complete the Nat Dex for a star in Gen 4. I think you only needed the regional dex in Gen 3. That's crazy. Win 1 master rate contest, which is also so it's sort of flipped. In Gen 3, you had to master rank, I think, all of the contests to get the star. I actually can just scroll up and check, can't I? Yeah, win all master rank Pokemon contests. And then here, they want you to just win 1. Oh, there's the platinum flag in the underground, okay. It doesn't look like there's actually unique stuff for Diamond and Pearl versus Platinum. So I think we might just be able to cut them completely out of this completionist run. Okay, and then the last star is defeat 100 trainers in the battle tower, which gave you a decoration in Gen 3, but I don't think was for a trainer star. You only needed to defeat 50 for the star in Ruby and Sapphire. And then you didn't actually need necessarily 100 wins in Emerald, but you did have to win all the gold symbols. So that's Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Let's see, HeartGold and SoulSilver. Do I have trainer card on here? I do. Hall of Fame. Again with the Nat Dex. Beat records in all Pokeathlon events. That's gonna be fun. Gold lead to Ethan, because we will be playing as Lyra, and then 100 in the battle tower. Let's see how I set up the teams page. Name, level, Pokemon. So it may be easiest to start with the teams tab here. We know that we're going to have in these gens where all of the post-game stuff requires EV training, I typically just come up with a main team for the playthrough that is not involved in any of the after the game activities. So there's not as many restrictions with team building for this one. So this is just going to be main party. We'll do SoulSilver because it's the one I have extra copies of. Main party SoulSilver, and then we would need another main party for Platinum. Those are our first 2 teams we know we need. Next, I'm going to look at the Battle Frontier and see what all of the sub-events are. Battle Frontier, that's the Gen 3 page. Where's the Gen 4 page? Platinums and HeartGold's Frontiers are identical. These are the facilities, so we will need a team for the Battle Tower. We'll need a team for the factory, the arcade, the castle, and the hall. Oh, we don't need a factory. We do not need a battle factory team. I just realized because you rent Pokemon for the battle factory and it's the worst. So battle arcade, castle, and hall. So those are the 4 frontier facilities that we will need teams for. And then I believe there are Battle Revolution Cups that we will also need to plan for. So I will be honest with you, I am not super familiar with all of the post-game stuff of Gen 4 outside of HeartGold and SoulSilver, because I'll let you in on a secret. I don't really like Gen 4. This is all still a mystery to me. This is just for the battle tower. Yeah, we don't need to worry about this. Remember when Pokemon games not only had a battle tower as the post game, but then like the third version would bring an entire frontier? Remember when they did that for like 2 games and then never again? We can now add some detail to the frontier section of our little list. There's the battle tower, there's the battle factory, there's the battle arcade, and the battle hall. Those are things we're going to need teams for. Now we're going to look for Battle Revolution and what all the different rule sets are there so we know how many teams we need to build for Battle Revolution. Okay. So I've never actually played Battle Revolution. I do own it, but I was completely uninterested in it when it came out, and since you don't have to play it, I didn't. What is this? They give you a Pokemon to start with? That's kind of cute. Do you get to like trade them to your main game? I like that the girls start with Kanto Pokemon and the boys start with Sinnoh Pokemon. That's weird. Oh my gosh, there are so many of these. Do I need a different team for all of them? I don't know what the rules are for each one. Let's take a look at some of them. So the Gateway, all battles in the Coliseum are only open to rental passes. Does that mean you have to rent Pokemon for this? A custom pass. This is the thing that I would actually want to do. Oh my god! You have to unlock the titles? You know we're gonna have to do this if we want to call it 100%. Oh my god. Okay. Clear all Coliseums. Unlock all models. Titles. Oh my god, this is gonna take forever! But in a way, that's a good thing, because I like things that are gonna take forever. Okay, well, I'm a little excited about that idea. Let's see though. Some of these can only be done with the rentals. So I think Gateway is kind of like the factory. Can Main Street be done with a custom pass? Level 50. Oh, does it automatically level your Pokemon? The pass system is a little confusing to read about. Level 30, rank 1. Okay. Well, I think the way that we're gonna figure this out is... Oh, also, okay, before I finish that thought, we need to get all bonus Pokemon. Obviously, we need all of the secret Pokemon. Okay, sorry, my thought was we're gonna figure this out we're gonna look at some guides, I think. That's typically what I do. So the way I figure out my teams for these events and how many teams I need is usually by looking at old Game Facts guides or the Prima guides or Smogon forum pages about which teams people use to beat these modes, and then I get kind of an idea of what I will need to build. And sometimes I will just copy those teams because I don't have the knowledge to build my own without doing the modes, but I want to plan for which TMs and stuff I'll need to gather to build Pokemon. So I will just write down like which Pokemon I think I'm gonna want to use for those. And sometimes I will make substitutions by looking up different Pokemon with similar roles. Like, for example, in Gen 1, there's kind of like a team of Pokemon that's good for Stadium, for the Prime Cup, but obviously I substituted in some of my favorites, like Mr. Mime and Persian, and then I ended up having to use Alakazam anyway. So yeah, so that's what I do. So that's a good starting point, I think, for this, when I don't have the knowledge, the experience myself to build the teams in this generation, because I'm coming from Gen 3. I've just spent a lot of time in Gen 3 where there's no physical special split. Like, most of the moves in Gen 4 are brand new. There's a lot to account for that I just don't know yet. I feel like the change between Gen 4 and Gen 5 will be easier to understand. Gen 5, it's just way easier to build good Pokemon, and it's much more forgiving because TMs are not single use. Let's start with, so how do I decide on my main teams for these? Is usually aesthetically motivated. I sometimes will look at like teams for things like this to kind of like get a starting point. Like, for example, let's go to the Stargazer Coliseum and look at some of the teams that people are using. See if there's like any interesting combinations of Pokemon, because these teams are usually kind of weird. But I like that. Like, I like that they sort of tell a story about who this person is, and then you can kind of like make modifications or just copy the aesthetic and change like Pokemon for ones you like better or different colors, things like that. This looks like kind of a Johto team. Taylor's got a cute team, but I don't think I would want to use a Love Disc. Sometimes I will also go into these playthroughs with shiny hunting in mind. Like, I will plan certain Pokemon that I want to shiny hunt for during the playthrough, which was definitely the case with Gen 2. And then in Gen 3, I learned RNG manipulation so that I could guarantee those Pokemon with less of a time investment. And then I think in Gen 4, there's something called the Cute Charm glitch, which I don't understand yet, but I will before I start Gen 4. So I think it's easier to get shiny Pokemon if you want them. That's also something to consider. Whether I want to abuse glitches or not, there's no strict rule for that for me, but it kind of depends. For example, one of the things that I like to think about as I'm playing Pokemon games is I've done this before where I would abuse the glitches and get the rare candies from missing no, and not level up my Pokemon on my own. But I know that's not what the developers intended me to do. So I wonder what they expected players to actually do here. Sort of how I approach some of these things. So in Gen 3, for example, they didn't expect players to be like duping items. What did they actually expect? What was the method they wanted players to use to optimize in a game like that? Which I think is an interesting insight and a kind of an experience you can only get by trying to play it without taking shortcuts. What kind of time investment did they have in mind for this sort of a thing? And the answer is in Gen 4, a lot of time. Well, this could be like a kind of a cute team to start with here for Platinum. Maybe make some substitutions. Should we keep this one in mind? Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just screenshot these as kind of a jumping off point. I don't know how I feel about Pachirisu being in this team. We'll see. We'll keep this one in mind. This person has Metapod and Butterfree. Okay. This is kind of an interesting color scheme. The Volbeat, Kricketune, Luxray, Rotom, whole deal. Another thing I like to do, so we'll go to Cerebi and we'll go to Stadium 2, because I believe there was a team here that I wanted to try and recreate in my next SoulSilver run. Here we go, Cool Trainer Marty. So Cool Trainer Marty is going to be our inspiration for our SoulSilver team, because his team is almost already an inverse of my original Crystal team. So those are our starting points. Now let's go to a team builder. I don't know exactly what a good team builder is. See here, for Diamond and Pearl. Okay, this seems like a good planner. So to start with, we had our inspiration here. I like the Wigglytuff Butterfree Roserade. That's pretty cute. I've never used Kricketune before. It sounds probably terrible, but we can work with it. So, okay, so the first Pokemon we'll start with, is Jigglypuff not in the Sinnoh Pokedex? So we have options here. We can go outside the Sinnoh Pokedex because you can trade and transfer pretty much anything. I see, here's the National Dex option. So we know already that we're going to have to trade or transfer for Jigglypuff, Igglybuff. Same with Butterfree. But I think that's kind of why it's fun in some ways. But then we don't want to do entirely traded. Or at least I don't. So we'll put in Roserade. That's pretty cute to start with. And then, I don't know if I want to do Kricketune. Our colors so far are pretty bright and saturated, which fits Platinum, but there's a recurring pink, bright blue. So let's see if we can find pink and bright blue. That's like every Pokemon here, huh? Stunky would be repeating Butterfree's colors a little bit, but, oh, wait, hang on. I don't know if I like those. Oh, Mr. Mime would actually be kind of cute for this, huh? He's got the blue and the pink. I try not to always use the same Pokemon, but it gets really difficult because I like the Pokemon that I like. Azumarill's cute. Its shape is very similar to Wigglytuff. I don't know how I feel about that, but it is very cute. Sort of a circular motif in general in this team now. I don't want it to get too similar to teams that I've used before, but it's very difficult. See, we could use one of the new Eevees. We could do Leafeon would fit, but it would not be additional coverage. Glaceon does not work here. I feel like this is a pretty cute team. Also, this is a cute team, but that's two psychic Pokemon. I do sometimes just have overlapping types because it works better aesthetically. And then I just deal with it in the game. Sometimes it's good to make the game harder for yourself. That's really cute, but we know that it's not going to stay a Flaffy, so it would be this. But we can plan for shininess. We can make this one shiny. I still don't know if I like that. It's like the wrong color pink. Typically when I build these, I will use like the sprites from the actual game to make sure that they all look cohesive in the actual game, but for your benefit, we won't do that. I like that shade of pink a little better. I like the green in shiny Wigglytuff size, but the shade of pink in the regular one better. That's also cute. Oh, I don't like that. That's yellow. Well, it's Blissey. Should we do Blissey? I'm doing Blissey right now, and I'm actually not having the most fun using Blissey. So perhaps not Blissey again. Although they do give you the Happiny Egg, so it would be easy to use Blissey. There's also recurring white, isn't there? So we could do white and second color as the last one. That's not white. But that is kind of cute, huh? But it's not, I don't know. We can keep doing better. Oh, Magneton. No. Extra flying. I kind of try to keep it varied. We don't have, I would like a quadrupedal Pokemon for the last one. Should we do Purugly? Does it look like shiny? Not quite. Not quite. I get very particular about the aesthetic. I have to feel very excited about my team for the playthrough, or the whole thing doesn't work. I have to, if I'm going to invest the amount of time to do a playthrough like this, then I really, really want to take my time and make sure that I like the team I'm putting together. And for me, aesthetics, I guess, play a big role in it now, especially since I like to draw my teams afterwards. The portrait afterwards is a big component. Oh, that is kind of cute. I've already used Dugong in one of these playthroughs though. Try and find something better that I haven't previously used, but that is so cute. I could do cast form. How's Delcatty? Can I sort by quadrupedal? Oh yeah, I can. This is crazy. I like this builder. The only downside to this builder is that I can't sort by, I can't make them all Sprite. I guess we can actually put Pachirisu in. It is in this original version of this team. Kind of don't like it though. Like Pachirisu's silhouette is just wrong. It's too small. I wish it was bigger. Be bigger. Oh, this is one that I used in Legends Arceus, the green Stantler. That could be cute, but it still is not quite right. Meganium? Meganium kind of worked. Would that be weird to use Meganium for Platinum? I do have the Mount Battle Chikorita with the special move, so that could be like the basis for this team. Transferred up. Traded over. It won't obey me, but that could also be fun. This is really not very different from a lot of other teams that I've already built, but what can I say? I have my favorites. I literally did just use a Azumarill. Should I try and find a different water type? Because I used an Azumarill in my Emerald team. That was painful. I love Meganium though, especially like using Meganium and Venusaur in gens that they don't belong in. Speaking of Pokemon that I've already used recently though, I did already recently use Meganium. This is torture. There's lots of other white and blue Pokemon though that I can pick from to replace Azumarill, for example. No, I don't like the yellow ears. Hopefully you all understand what I'm going for, otherwise I sound insane. Wailord. You could do that. I don't know though. Now it sort of feels a different vibe. Should I put Azumarill back? Let's look at blue Pokemon now. I like that you can sort by all these things on this builder. I should use this more often. And then blue. Okay, there we go. Oh, I like that. I like me some Gastrodon. He's a cute guy, that Gastrodon. Kind of ties into yellow. How do you look now? Perhaps we can find a better pink Pokemon than Wigglytuff. It's a lot of good blue guys. Hang on though. No, not that. Let's get rid of you for a second. What do you look like? Very purple. Just not enough white. Do that. I suppose that's a little bit of a lot. That's kind of a lot of bipedal guys. This is one of the most fun things ever, by the way, to me. So this is why I'm taking a very long time with this. We're gonna stick there for now. And now we'll just take a look at all of the pink ones. I kind of like Wigglytuff and Azumarill together. They're really cute. Is this the team? I think this might be the team. No shinies. Basically using a lot of my favorite Pokemon a second time. But what are you gonna do? You have to make the game enjoyable for yourself, right? You should use Pokemon that you like. I fall into this little trap of not branching out, but my taste becomes more singular the older I get. So this will be my platinum party. So Pokemon 1, Wigglytuff, Butterfree. I'm gonna also screenshot this just to make it convenient to reference in the future. What's fun with this is I can actually have two babies. I can start with Igglybuff and Mime Jr. plus my Chikorita that won't obey me. And Azumarill. Ooh, actually I can start with Azurill too. This will be a very baby Pokemon team, is where we're starting with that team. And now we have to do the same thing with our SoulSilver team. Start over. Actually, we can go back out and pick HeartGold SoulSilver. I don't know exactly what difference that's gonna make, but okay. So Mew is not, I tend to avoid using mythicals and legendaries. So I'm going to take the color palette that Mew uses here, but we're probably going to use different pink Pokemon. Now, originally, I thought I was going to use Wigglytuff, but we used it in Platinum. So we're probably going to have to use a different pink guy here. But there are some Pokemon that I know I do want to use. For example, we want to use Starmie, we want to use Umbreon, we want to use Tyranitar. Now this is like the who's who of popular Pokemon, except now we're adding Muck, and Muck is not really that popular. I don't know for sure if I like all of this yet, but let's try Gramble in place of Mew. This is very edgy, this team. I don't feel like that's terrible though, because we're going very cutesy for the other team. This is very bad artwork for Muck. It's just so small compared to all the other guys, but I don't know about Gramble. Let's take Gramble off. Gengar would make this even edgier, but I don't know about that. Cloyster maybe? So these are all Pokemon that you can get in Johto natively. Ooh, maybe Ditto. That's it's kind of too similar to Muck, huh? Could do. This is basically a Pokemon Coliseum team now. Now I suppose we actually don't need to stick to all these guys. This is sort of more about a vibe than a color scheme. Dodrio kind of fits the vibe. Houndoom would be like, this is the prototypical Gen 2 team, basically. Oh, all we're missing is Steel. We need a Steel type. There you go. That's the prototypical Gen 2 team. Weirdly, I kind of like it. It sort of ties in the yellow and the black, because all these guys share yellow and black. Except Muck, which is just the same color as Starmie. But why Pichu? Because it's not gonna stay like this. It's gonna evolve into Raichu and then it won't fit anymore at all. Unless I keep it as a Pichu the whole game on purpose, which would be really cute. I feel like Arbok might fit better than Muck. What do you think? Kind of like Pichu. What do you think? Pikachu colored Pichu, like a mascot. Let's just try some different purple guys. Let's just try some. I feel like Arbok is just too obvious. Same with Gengar. I don't know. Maybe it should be Muck, because I wouldn't use Muck otherwise, and that's kind of what's interesting about it, right? I also like that it's like the only Pokemon on this team that doesn't have any patterns on it, and it's like the exact color of Starmie, which is very perfect. Imagine beating the Elite Four with a Pichu though. That would be very difficult. HeartGold is not an easy game. Gen 4 in general are not very easy, so I could be making this a lot harder for myself. Let's just see what all the shinies look like. Weirdly, they all kind of still go together except Pichu. But we're definitely not doing shiny Ursaring. We're not doing shiny Tyranitar. I like this better. Just the shiny Pichu. I suppose I cannot transfer up my box Pichu. The special move you get from Pokemon Box Ruby and Sapphire for Pichu is Surf, and it deletes all your HM moves. So that's very irritating. But I could try and get like a shiny Volt Tackle Pichu, perhaps, and transfer that up. Something to think about. So I will have a Pichu that doesn't obey me. In Gold and Silver as a kid, my neighbor traded me a Pichu and it didn't obey me either. So that would be very nostalgic. Should we ditch Muck for Forretress? Forretress is cool. Do you like that? I do like using Muck though, because it's so unexpected. I like that on this team because it's like the only not cool Pokemon on it. I feel like the baby Pichu kind of makes this all work somehow. So maybe we'll just go with this. It's not that creative. It's basically ripping off Marty's team completely, but it is what it is. We don't need 2 psychic types anyway. So we can get Starmie from the Pokewalker early. We can get Tyranitar from the Safari Zone. Ursaring. We'll do Pichu. Oh yeah, Umbreon, almost forgot. So that's where we're starting. I like this aesthetically. That took a long time, but I think that's gonna be the thing that takes the longest. Let's start searching for some guides, shall we? Oh, you know what? We're gonna keep this open because we can also tweak the aesthetic of our teams that we steal from Smogon. So Gen 4 Battle Tower team. So they seem to have the Tycoons teams. These are the Pokemon you can team up with. Oh, that's right, they added a multi-battle mode. Oh my gosh, here's all the Battle Tower Pokemon. Building your own team. This is the part we want. The following teams that have done exceptionally well in the single battle mode, reaching an excess of 200 wins straight. That sounds good to me. I'm going to bookmark this and probably leave this open. So we want Gengar, Blissey, and Frostlass. So I will have a Gengar and a Blissey from Emerald that I can transfer up. If I can use them, like ideally I would be able to reuse one of the guys that I've raised already for some of this, and then I would only need to get Frostlass, so we'll keep that in mind. So that was an easy answer for that. Next we'll check battle, Gen 4. So here's some resources. Battle Factory level 50, no thanks. Frontier Informant. So this is something used for Battle Castle. This is Gen 5. What? Heatran? Heatran? Oh my god, is Heatran a Gen 4 Pokemon? One thing is that things like Latios, you know, they're legendaries, but they're not banned necessarily, so you can abuse that. Higher streaks in some of these. I don't know how I feel about that. Battle Arcade. This is what we're looking for. They used Garchomp, Suicune, and Scizor. I assume I will be migrating up my Suicune that I've already raised, so that will also work for this. So Garchomp, Suicune, Scizor. What is the Battle Hall? I don't actually know what the heck the Battle Hall is. Look at this again. That's a picture. Oh, it's 1v1. So you don't bring a team of 3 here for this. Interesting. This is interesting. This is an opportunity to do some fun things, I think. We could reuse Blissey possibly for the hall, because it seems like Blissey got a pretty high streak here. Also Garchomp. Overall, I'm okay with raising a few fewer Pokemon for this. My Emerald one is a little bit overwhelming, so maybe having just slightly fewer Pokemon will make planning this easier. Ooh, they used Medicham. This is a funny thread. Well, I like this guy's thread. This guy's post from 2020 about his 200 streak with Medicham. Now I'm curious, get a win streak of 10,000 in Battle Hall? One species of Pokemon. Specimens of the same Pokemon are allowed. Required to pick a type before each battle. They're able to get the symbol using Dragonite, but I want to read the rest of this. Incredibly pointless 10,000 win total to unlock all these characters. In the Battle Hall, the player will gain fans as their total record or their total winning streak increases. If the player is a female, then their major fan is Winston. If the player is male, then their fan is Serena. They can be found in the Battle Hall lobby in various locations with varying dialogue. The player will also get visitors cheering them on in the lobby. If the player's total record is over 500 in Pokemon Platinum, they will get Professor's Assistant. If the record's over 1,000, they'll get Joanna. Over 10,000, Professor Oak or Jasmine and HeartGold SoulSilver. If the player is over 1,000, they'll get their player's mother, Ethan or Lyra, and over 10,000 get Professor Oak or Whitney. When did they start this? Can I find this? 2018. Oh, it's in a Discord server, so I can't find it on Google. I understand this better now. So you actually need to get combined 10,000. So for the hall, I would need more than one of 2 of the same Pokemon. So I could kind of grub this for the best group. So I think I'm gonna put many Pokemon here because that makes sense to me based on what other people are saying in these forums. So good Pokemon are Dragonite, Empoleon, Garchomp, unsurprising, Lucario, Smeargle, Marshtomp, and Blissey. This is gonna be a pain to try and optimize because you need 2 of each Pokemon. We'll just put, for now, 2 Dragonite, because that seems pretty straightforward. We have quickly found teams for everything except for the castle. So shall we check the castle and see what the deal is? Okay, this is kind of like, this is sort of like the facility that grades you. Forgetting what that's called in Emerald. The dojo, I think. So this team was used for all of these. Articuno could be fun. I don't currently have one, so I would have to go back to. I do not want to play Fire and Leaf Green again, so I immediately veto that idea. Nope, no Articuno. Okay, this is for the castle. Garchomp, Gengar, and Scizor. Well, it looks like I'm not going to be raising a ton of Pokemon this game. It is what it is. So now we kind of have an idea of what we're doing with these teams. I'm going to add an additional sheet, and we're going to do Pokemon, because I need to note down movesets. Actually, I think I did that even here. I did. Just as a template, we will copy these here. So, Hitchhiker's Guide. So this is Gengar, Destiny Bond, Focus Sash, Nature, Timid, 6 HP, 252, Special Attack, 252, Shadow Ball, and Destiny Bond. So this team that I am copying here was built by Blue Kirby. So thank you to Blue Kirby on Smogon for this team, assuming that it was built by Blue Kirby and it doesn't say somewhere else in here that someone else built. Let me fill out all this real quick. Destiny Bond is a move, not an ability. So I guess Gengar doesn't have more than one possible ability. These are some very specific EVs. So 150 HP, 248 special attack, and 108 speed. Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Taunt, and Destiny Bond. This is gonna be a lot of Voltorb flip. So I have bookmarked this so that I can refer to this if I need more information about how to use these Pokemon, but I'll probably figure it out by the time I get there. So let's go back page here, or 2 or 3, and put down the info for these guys. I don't know what the streak you need for the arcade is. I'm pretty sure that it's above 60, right? To get the gold. Gold is 49, so this team should work fine. This team is by Holthier, and they're using Suicune because it's specifically one of their favorite Pokemon. Wow, I mean, I also just have a bunch of Suicune I can use because I played Gen 3. This seems very convenient for me to build. I'm going to write down this info now. This actually doesn't have what they're holding, but I think held items are not allowed in the arcade, and that's why. Specifically, held items are not allowed in the arcade, so that's why there's no held items written down. Outrage, Crunch, Swords Dance, and Earth. And there's Suicune and Bold. In theory, I could probably use the same Blissey. So let me check really quick what my Scizor is from, or my Suicune is from Emerald. I have 2, but I have one that's better than the other. So let me see. This is my better one, but it's modest, not bold. My bold one is the one with bad IVs from Leaf Green, but it already basically has that moveset. Okay, hang on. There was another team for that down here. So I guess it doesn't matter what's in that slot. I guess they put Crunch. And then we will just, I think we'll just copy this Blissey into that slot. HP, oh, they gave the extra EVs to speed for that one, not special defense. I don't think it would be worth changing for an extra point. And they had Scizor, but we will replace Scizor with Starmie. So now I am now using level 51's Battle Arcade team. I had decided to go against using the Suicune team because my Suicune, unfortunately, that is Bold Nature, already kind of has that moveset, but it has really terrible IVs, and I don't think it'll do very well. So that's sad, but I think that all of the facilities in Gen 4 will auto-level you, so I don't have to worry about what levels are what. So as the arcade decided, this Garchomp, no, these two are the same Pokemon, so I don't need a different Blissey. Let me check what my Emerald Blissey is. It's modest. I think I had a second Blissey on here somewhere. I might be able to use my Starmie because it basically already has this moveset. Surf, Psychic, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt. Surf, Psychic, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt. I already have that Starmie. I can put down this one's nickname because we have it already. That one will be transferred up. And let me check my Gengar too. I got a timid Gengar, Thunderbolt, Counter, Shadow Ball, and Destiny Bond. Certainly it doesn't have Destiny Bond. What Gengars do I have? I have 2. Timid with the punches, 36 HP, 232 special attack, 220 speed. Timid, it's not quite that. Do I have another one? I do. Scout, Timid, 4 HP, 252 special attack, 252 speed, special defense. I think I misread something here. Let me check. I misread this is supposed to be speed. This is special defense. So these are, to me, I write speed as SPE so that I can tell it apart because SPD is confusing to me. So let's check this chart again. So this could be Scout. I'm gonna have to figure out how I get those moves on it though, because it's a different moveset very much. So that's good to know. I'm gonna have to get a new Blissey, but I can use the same Blissey in both of these. So that's good, I guess. So 2 Pokemon I'm moving up from Emerald. Battle Castle. Here's the team. Is a lot of items. How does this work? So I am going to have to decide what order I do this in because if I'm going to use the same Blissey in both of these, I have to be done with one to do the other. We'll also be doing the same thing with this Gengar. And Shadow Ball, Energy Ball. So Counter will just be swapped for Energy Ball and will otherwise be the same. What's the difference between, I bet I could just use the same. So we'll use the same one here. Even though it calls for a Jolly one in this team by Anna Says Hi, I would like to only raise one Garchomp, so it'll just be the same one, especially since EVs are also very similar. Oh, I understand why it's Jolly though, for Outrage. You know what, maybe this one should also be Jolly then. We'll do Jolly for both of them. Yeah, that'll do. And then the last one is Scizor. Technician, what's it holding? A Spear Berry or Leftovers. Am I raising a Scizor for Emerald at all? don't think I am. I mean, I should probably plan to raise some new Pokemon, right? Yeah, I don't think I am. It'd be kind of boring, I think, if I didn't raise any new Pokemon. I just like the idea of being able to use my Emerald ones again. It's just exciting to me. This is a very specific EV spread for this Caesar. And we'll just change this to special defense since we're making it jolly as well. All right. So far, that's not a ton of Pokemon that we have to raise. That's pretty good. So now, finally, we're going to take at Sync, and there are 2 Dragonites. Ugh, Inner Focus and Inner Focus. And then we just have to look at the teams for Battle Revolution, and then we just have to route everything, and then we'll be done. If I bookmark this, I have not. Let me do that. The reason that I'm not writing down EVs is that although people here are going out of their way for specific ones, I'm sticking with the mindset of what would have been expected of players, and I don't think that they would have expected players to have mastered breeding in Gen 4. I know that a lot of people did, but having done some breeding in Gen 4 and 5, it's very difficult. I might change my mind on that when I get to that step and figure out some way to do it. I don't know. So this is HP 252 and speed 252. An extreme speed Dragonite? I think that's a special one, no? I might have to check on that. Cerebi, Dragonite, Gen, Paper Beam, Move Tutor, Egg Moves. Okay, it can get extreme speed as an egg move, but only in HeartGold and SoulSilver. But that doesn't make any sense. Where do you get the extreme speed Dratini? Oh, it's the Dragon Den's Quiz Dratini. So I have to make sure to okay, I remember this. I messed this up in my Crystal playthrough. I didn't get it. Okay, that's why it's only in HeartGold and SoulSilver. It can be passed on from that specific Dratini. So the second one is mild. Let me move this back over. Okay, so this one's a special attacking. Cool. Okay, that's all that done. Now I need to look up Battle Revolution stuff. The way I did this for Stadium was I think I looked up one guide for Stadium, and it just listed all of the Pokemon that they used for everything. So let me try it that way. Good old GameVac. Guy 1993 wrote this one. Let's scroll through and see if they have like some teams listed out. So this is a list of the opponents. Oh my lord. I don't think that this is going to have teams for me to use on it. That's the incomplete one. Let's look at the one by Trickster 800. Section 5. We want to go to Section 5, I think. Oh, this one just has type. See, I don't want to think that hard. I want you to recommend me the Pokemon so I can just copy paste them, because I'm doing a lot of different teams at once here. It would be convenient for me if I didn't have to think that hard about each one. I don't know if anybody has teams for me to steal. I guess I could maybe look up a walkthrough on YouTube and steal their team. This one also just recommends type. Best team. Recommends some team. Here's my Mario team. Perhaps I am overthinking this and I can just beat this with regular Pokemon. Salamence, Nidoking, Charizard, Caesar, Celebi, and Milotic. All you needed was a halfway decent team to completely obliterate the enemy. Is this the first page of this? This is. So apparently this is not a difficult game and I may not need to build teams for it, which I guess is a little disappointing because I don't have a lot of, like, there's a lot of stuff to do in Gen 4, but so far, compared to all the Pokemon that I was able to put on my Emerald spreadsheet, this is, like, not that many. It's not that many, which I guess is a good thing, but it's a good thing and a bad thing, because it means I won't have boxes and boxes of friends. I like having boxes and boxes of friends. Main story is incredibly easy. The post-game content is not, says Lucario Master 2. Moving on, rate my team. I put this together hoping to take Master's Battle by storm, only to fall flat on my face in step 5. Premise of the team is having bulky non-Uber attackers along with Tailwind. So they're using Salamence, Toxicroak, Torterra, Suicune, Lax Nature. Well, I already can't build that one. Magnezone and Lucario. Wow, that's a little disappointing that there's only 2 pages of discussion on this game. I would assume that more people would be into the difficult post-game battling stuff that isn't randomly generated like the Frontier. Like, if the post game is hard, why aren't more people? Everybody says they want hard Pokemon games, and nobody's doing any of the hard stuff in Pokemon games. Oh, I suppose I don't know if PBR is mostly singles or not. Is there a singles mode and doubles mode? I think Masters is the thing that people need. Masters, 4 trainers, Coliseum Master heading each set. Okay, Mysterious team. An entirely different article for all of these. It's Cerebi Joe! No, he doesn't have a Cerebi. Is Masters doubles or singles? Oh, this guy's team changes depending on what team you transfer. This seems to be plucked from the Coliseum school of these battles are really hard because we put a bunch of legendaries in them. That is definitely what Coliseum did a lot for their Colo modes. Yeah, they're difficult, but not because we actually planned a difficult fight. We just put all the legendaries on one trainer. You're welcome. Magician's Apprentice Ruth. This is kind of an interesting team. Should I just take this team? Just this team and see how I do? She has both Slowpoke and Slowbro. She's using Shadow Ball. Oh, it's a Trick Room team. That sounds frustrating to use. Save data. I don't really want to download a save. I really want to know what the builds are. Pokemon.net may have me. I don't want to use Infernape. This is the only place I have found so far that's recommending a team at all. So perhaps I can just find a substitute for Infernape that I don't hate. Sorry everyone, I hate Infernape. Sorry, this is how you had to find out. We'll just put Battle Revolution. I swear I'm gonna need more than one. Stargazer Masters. Garchomp. We're gonna be using Garchomp again. This is once again an adamant Garchomp, but I'm not going to raise more than one, so we will go with the Jolly one. And the moveset is Outrage, Earthquake, Stone Edge, and Fire Blast. Scizor. And we'll use this Scizor again too. So we'll do the Oka Berry and Salmon, Bullet Punch, Bug Bite Superpower, and then Set of Swords Dance Night Slash. And then a Vaporeon, a Staraptor, a Salamence. I'm going to have to call it a day here. I'm going to copy all this into the spreadsheet, and then we will pick up another time where I actually route how we're going to get each of these Pokemon. Good morning. So I've finished chopping down this team. I am going to replace Infernape with Breloom. By the way, I don't think I mentioned this yesterday. This team was written by Richard and Blaziken. So thank you to this person for coming up with this team. Also, I wanted to make changes on here to one of the teams that I built yesterday because I had a little bit of time during D&D yesterday while I was waiting for my turn in combat, and I was kind of playing with this team builder, and I came up with some changes to the teams I want to build. So we're going to add Breloom, Smogon, Breloom, Diamond and Pearl. There we go. So this Infernape is naive, and it has a kind of a mixed physical special spread. Breloom, I think, is mostly support / offense. The Spore is the main appeal of Breloom. I think we have a lot of special coverage on this team already. I don't think we need to have both. I could be wrong. I could get there and find out, oh crap, I really should have done more of a mix. We could use this set here because this is Jolly as opposed to plus offense. It's just plus speed. And we're only using this, we're not using this in an OU team. We're using this for Stargazer Coliseum Masters. It doesn't have to take into account all of these things. So the Choice Scarf is already used on this team. Focus Sash is not. So I believe this is the item we're going with. So we'll do this set here. Breloom, Ability Effect Spore, Focus Sash, and the moveset is for Superpower or Focus Punch. We will be using Focus Punch because we're giving it a Focus Sash. Seeds Bomb and Stun Spore. Seeds Bomb, Speed Bomb, and Stun Spore. I like that a little better than using Infernape. I just don't like Infernape. I'm really sorry to people who love Infernape. I'm sorry. Okay, so this team is now done, but I wanted to make changes to this party here. So let me pull those guys back up. So this was the party as it was yesterday. I think I actually decided to take Meganium off and instead add Dustox, which does not actually add anything to the team coverage wise, but neither really did Meganium. It's just aesthetically, I kind of like this better, especially with Shiny Wigglytuff. That is option 1. Option 2, I actually use all 3 of the starters from XD Gale of Darkness on my Platinum team, which could be really fun, except that none of them will obey me. I do want to use them, because one of the things about Gen 3 is they give you all of these Pokemon after you've done everything, so that you can't use them for any reason. So I think what I'm going to do is actually kind of make like a modified version of Red's team, kind of. This is not a good choice for Platinum specifically because I don't think any of these Pokemon are actually native to Platinum. So they will all need to be eggs or traded, or, you know, we'll have to figure something out. But like, I really fell in love with this idea of having half the team be like kind of cute and kind of pink, and the other half being the 3 starters with their special moves from XD Gale of Darkness. There's also kind of like colors that are tied in here. You got the green matching Meganium, you have the red and blue matching for Ralligator, you have kind of this black motif matching Typhlosion. I just think it's very cute. Also, I would have access to Compound Eyes and Thief, which would be a really fun combo. I feel like I have a hair stuck to my face. And Wigglytuff would have Cute Charm, which is abusable, although that would have been true on the other team too. Same with Butterfree. I mean, these are not really different. I think that this would make me enjoy Platinum a little bit more using this team. I like the other team still, but I've decided to change this. So we're doing Meganium, Typhlosion, Feraligatr, Wigglytuff, and Granbull. Okay, so I think there's really only one more team that I want to look up prior to kind of routing what we're doing, and that is, I know there's a Little Cup Battle Revolution. So let's go back to PBR because I think that would be the only team that I might need to actually build a separate team for. But this is a stub. I wonder if Cerebi has more information about Little Battle on PBR. So Smogon has this page. So it's done at level 5. It looks like these are recommended places to EV train at level 5. So that's cool. I do not see any sample teams, but this would be helpful information for actually prepping for Little Battle. Let's see, Reddit has a Little Cup team. It's on Imgur for some reason instead of a text post. So let's add a column or a row for Little Battle. Let's take a look at this guy's team on Imgur. Oh, it's text posted on Imgur. Okay, that's not too bad. So they use Gligar, Houndour, Bronzor, Scyther, Sneasel, Drifloon. Well, thank you to who built this team. Someone who deleted their account. It doesn't say who posted this on Imgur either. Thanks to Anonymous for this Little Battle team. We will use their team. It was Gligar, Bronzor, Sneasel. This is a cute little team. And Scyther. This has to be level 5, I believe. So Gligar has Hyper Cutter. Oh, I forgot the EVs. Hang on. And the nature. Jolly nature. Oh no, it's a different nature than the Caesaro is going to breed. So this will just be a separate Scyther. Sometimes it's fun to plan to use the same Pokemon for multiple things. So I would, like, at one level have it be a Scyther for the Little Battle and then level it up for Stargazers, for example. But these two need different natures, so they'll just be different Pokemon. It's not that hard to breed a different Scyther. Okay, I think those are all the teams we need. I'm going to bookmark that. I think we'll just put level 50. If it matters for Little Battle what level they are, it may not auto level for this either. So we'll just make sure that it's at level 50. So this is something silly, and also completely unnecessary, but I do like to EV train my in-game teams because I am insane. I'm going to look up some spreads on Smogon and some movesets for my in-game team. Sometimes I also just give them fun movesets. In particular, we have access to now 2 generations of games with special move tutors, so we could do some fun stuff with that. Also, like, sometimes they have cool egg moves. In my Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire team, I looked at what Pokemon could be transferred up from all the different games, bred a Parish Song Jigglypuff, or Igglybuff, and taught it Nightmare in XD, and then transferred it all the way up to Gen 6, and built an entire team around that idea, like a pastel goth team. So sometimes you can do really fun things with movesets, and that is less true, I would say, in the first 4 gens. In Gen 5, they start letting you use more interesting moves on different Pokemon, but in the first 4 gens, they don't usually learn a lot of cool stuff. But we're getting to a point now where there's more options for things like that. Let's plan our in-game teams in terms of spreads and movesets. Let's start with Starmie, Smogon Dex. This is for Diamond and Pearl. And let's pull up Cerebi too. So let's see what it can learn. Ooh, we might want to start with Staryu, actually, because it won't learn as many moves as Starmie. Power Gem, Recover, Minimize. Minimize could be fun to abuse. Secret Power, it's a physical move. Probably going to be using a special. Protect, Frustration Thunderbolt. Here's the move tutor attacks for it. Signal Beam, that's kind of cool, I guess. HeartGold SoulSilver move tutor. Pain Split. That seems kind of devious. No egg moves, huh? You know what? That makes sense. It's a genderless Pokemon. Of course, there's no egg moves. Still waking up, I guess. Let's take a look at some of these sets on here. So defensive Rapid Spin seems very basic. Hydro Pump, also very basic. A lot of good coverage. So where is the move tutor that teaches things like Pain Split? Okay, it's kind of annoying that the prizes for Mount Battle in XD Gale of Darkness were the 3 Johto starters with these 3 moves. You can't really use them in any Gen 3 game because you get them at the end of XD Gale of Darkness and you can't trade them into a lot of games until you've beaten the entire game. They're not usable in Gen 3, but then if you transfer them up to Gen 4, they are no longer that special because there's a move tutor that will teach you all of these moves. I was really excited about using those Pokemon from XD, but I'm just not sure now if it's really that cool because you can just get them. So this is a Frontier. Okay, so the Battle Frontier is where you get some of those tutor moves in HeartGold SoulSilver, which means that we probably don't want to actually put that on our moveset because we won't be able to use it for most of the game. We could do Rapid Spin, Recover, Minimize, and Surf. I think Rapid Spin, Recover, Surf, and Thunderbolt is probably pretty good for Starmie. So a little boring. So next, let's look at Tyranitar. We also have Marty's team to reference for the moveset. So if we want to, we can kind of make them inspired by Marty's team, but we have more moves to work with. We'll swap Thunderbolt out with Psychic because it'll be much more fun to use because Psychic just kills everything in the main game. And it'll be more similar to Marty's, so like kind of an homage. All right, let's go to Tyranitar. Let's see if Tyranitar learns any fun moves. It gets all the fangs. Tyranitar could just learn a lot of moves. It gets all the punches. So this is very similar to Marty's all-purpose T-Tar. Crunch, Fire Blast, Earthquake, Rock Slide. Although here, Rock Slide is replaced with Stone Edge. Is there a move tutor attack? Does it get anything fun? It gets Assurance. It's not that great though. No, Assurance isn't that bad. Assurance is an egg move. We could replace Crunch with Assurance because Tyranitar is slow. Oh, no, wait. This is a double battle move. So we don't want Assurance for the playthrough. Then we will just take this set here. And I forgot to put the Nature, Lonely, Adamant, or Brave. Anyone will do for T-Tar. Next up is Ursaring. So Marty's Ursaring has Slash, Hyper Beam, Dynamic Punch, and Fire Punch. That's interesting. Hammer Arm is a move that it gets in this gen. And I think because of its ability, it changed a lot. Like its usage changed a lot from Gen 2. There's an egg move that it can only get in HeartGold and SoulSilver. That's kind of fun. We could do Belly Drum. Where can we get Belly Drum on Ursaring? How does it get Belly Drum? Is it an event move? I can get it from Linoon and Smeargle. Belly Drum Linoon? Is that an event Pokemon? See, this is a little bit annoying. I don't know how to tell why it can only get Belly Drum in HeartGold SoulSilver. So apparently Belly Drum is just not that good on Ursaring. I just don't really know. I am now madly curious why it can only get Belly Drum and HeartGold and SoulSilver. Is it because it was added to Linoon's pool? Night Slash is also a cool option. Let's take a look at these sets. So Crunch and Night Slash. Night Slash is high crit ratio, 70 power. Crunch is 80 power. Lowers the target's defense. It's not that good. But Crunch itself is an egg move. Does it not learn it by level up? So this is a Swords Dance / Life Orb set. I mean, like, in game, there's really no reason to use a Life Orb or any of these items. It's just not gonna help that much. But so what is its stab move here? It's Return or Double Edge. We should do Double Edge. Swords Dance, Close Combat, and Crunch. This will be a little cup set. I bet there's a lot of fun moves for Pichu. It's the type of Pokemon that would get fun moves. Let's just see what some of its fun moves are. So Nasty Plot is a fun one for Pichu. I feel like that suits the theme of this team pretty well. It's move tutor moves. It gets Fake Out as an egg move. Okay. And Volt Tackle, obviously. Nasty Plot. See if that's on here anywhere. I do like this too. Volt Tackle, Toxic Pikachu. Iconic. Could do something fun like Present. I like the idea of Fake Out too, but I don't think that that's gonna be better than Iron Tail. Iron Tail is just a good move. I do like Nasty Plot on Pichu though. But this is a physical attacking Pichu, so that doesn't make any sense. I guess Volt Tackle is a physical move too, isn't it? Darn! Okay, so this is going to be a physical attacking Pokemon. which means I could do a hasty nasty plot, but I don't know. It seems silly. I just like the idea of a nasty plot Pichu. It feels very Pokemon card to me. Let's do a hasty nasty plot Pichu. That's so funny. No, there's no reason. Okay, so there's no way a Pichu would even live long enough to use nasty plot, right? It's a Pichu. Let's be real. We will go with this jolly Pichu. So the other thing is that this Pichu is replacing Mew in this set, who also has Thunder Punch. I think that the EVs on this Pichu are assuming that it's only going to be at level 5, so we could probably augment these some by looking at, like, Pikachu's always timid. Let's look at Raichu. Here's a jolly Raichu. We'll use this spread for the EVs. No, we'll stick with what we had for Pichu. It probably needs the HP to stay alive long enough to do anything, because it's a Pichu. Is the last one return? Return. That'll be ironic, because it's going to hate me at first. We could swap return for frustration. We'll see. We'll see if it hates me. Next up is Umbreon. There it is. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing. There's only one move set on here for Umbreon in Gen 4. I think Wish is an egg move for Eevee. Let's double check. So this will need to be an egg. This Eevee. What's this Umbreon know? Psychic. Shadow Ball, Feint Attack, and Muck. What is Last Resort anyway? It's a power of 130. It's probably not good to use simultaneously with Wish though, but it is such a fun move. I sort of think if we want to, we could switch Wish for Moonlight, because this is an in-game team, and then we wouldn't have to have Red, but it doesn't learn it until so late in HeartGold SoulSilver. It's like really late, like, let's compare it to its Gen 2 learn set. In Gen 2, it learns Moonlight at 52. HeartGold and SoulSilver, it learns Moonlight 71. They did that to Espeon too. Espeon learns Psychic at 64 in HeartGold and SoulSilver. It learns it 20 levels earlier, 47 in Gen 2. It's just so bizarre to me that they made them all so much harder to use. I guess because they give you an Eevee. Curse might also be an egg move. Let's check. Curse is an egg move. Let's take a look at what it learns normally. So Curse is a stat boosting move. We could swap it with Confuse Ray to make it more similar to Marty's Umbreon. How does Payback work? And how does it learn Payback? I think it's a TM, right? Payback is a TM. So Curse would boost its stats, but it's already a fairly bulky Pokemon. Where does it get Detect in HeartGold only? Lucario? I don't know. We'll swap Curse for Confuse Ray so that we don't have to breed this guy. It's gonna be so annoying that it doesn't learn Moonlight until so late. I just have to shake my head, but whatever. Next up is Muck. Marty's Muck has Screech, Attract on a Muck, that's cute, Sludge Bomb, and Hidden Power. We don't want a Choice Band. Let's take a look at the learn set here. I believe that Ice Punch is a tutor move, and it's only in the post game. It's unfortunate because we could actually use Ice Punch on this team. So this is what we'll do with this one. Sticky Hold. Instead of, I guess we'll probably use Attract instead of Substitute, because I really like that the Muck on Marty's team knows Attract. It's so bizarre. Also, Substitute is a good move, but it's not like super usable as a in-game move set type move. We'll do Gunk Shot, and I want it to have Ice Punch, but we're not gonna get that. We could do Payback. That's kind of like a lot of dark. We could give it Rest. That's a Curse Rest. We'll do Payback again. / Ice Punch. We can give it Ice Punch later. The SoulSilver party done. Next, we will move on to the Platinum party. It's okay. We were using the special moves in Platinum, where I'm pretty sure there are not tutors for these. So I actually already have these Pokemon, so maybe I should pull up. Here's my Emerald, where I can actually reference the Pokemon that I have already caught. Meganium with the ability Overgrow. It is a calm nature, and its nickname is Drake. It has Ancient Power and Frenzy Plant as starting moves. Typhlosion. Its ability is Blaze. Its nickname is Dante. It's a rash nature, and it has Reversal and Blast Burn. Finally, we have Feraligatr. Its name is Dion. It's a jolly nature, and its moves are Crunch and Hydro Cannon. Can put Marty away because we're done looking at his team. So I think that these second moves that they have are special, actually. Oh no, they're move tutor moves. Well, so now we'll take a look at Meganium. So we have a calm-natured Meganium, which seems like nobody uses a calm-natured Meganium. Shall we check other gens maybe? Yes, in Gen 3 people use calm. Can't believe they're giving it hidden power grass. That's depressing. So this will be our moveset for our Meganium. Leftovers, synthesis and leech seed. That's simple. We'll look at Typhlosion next, and we'll go back to DP for this one. Its special move is reversal, which seems like it would go pretty well with Blaze. That's kind of cool. So how does it actually get reversal? It's not a move tutor. Is it an egg move? Yes, it's an egg move. So it's still kind of special. It occurred to me I didn't put my Ribbon Master on here. I was just thinking about how in XD they get a special ribbon as well. So let's take a look here. Ours is Rash, Timid, check back to Gen 3, Rash/mild. Also leftovers. Alright, we're going to have to give it a different held item. We don't want to give it either of those. So, guess we can give it a Pitaya Berry. We could give it the berry that raises attack, possibly, instead of special attack, because Blaze boosts, well, Pitaya Berry would work. Okay, we'll do that. So we gave it reversal, blast burn. So we have focus punch. That'll be our reversal. Thunder punch and substitute. That'll be a fun one. I suppose I can teach it thunder punch before I even trade it over, since it's not an egg, so that way I won't have to wait until the post game. It's an interesting Typhlosion for sure. For Relegator, so what is Crunch? I believe Crunch is probably an egg move. It is an egg move. And ours is Jolly. I already have these berries in Emerald as well, so I can trade them over holding these already. What is Dragon Dance? How does it learn Dragon Dance? I imagine that's probably also an egg move, which means we can't get it. Yeah, so we cannot get Dragon Dance. I suppose we could just teach it Return and Substitute as its remaining 2 moves. Another ironic one because it won't like us at first. Well, I don't know if we want Substitute on 2 Pokemon, do we? That's kind of insane. We could do Rest instead. Then we would change the berry to Chest though. What does the Lychee Berry do? That's the plus attack one. Okay, we'll do Substitute. I mean, both of these movesets take advantage of having lower HP to get into Torrent/Blaze, and just having Substitute makes sense for those, so what are you gonna do? They'll just be kind of similar movesets. Alright, I'm going to take a break, eat my lunch, then I will be back, finish the remaining 3 Pokemon, and then we will route it. Hello, I am back. I have eaten my lunch, and now I'm going to finish this team, and then we will finally get into routing everything. Woo! We're in Diamond and Pearl. So this Wigglytuff is going to need to be traded in because I want it to be shiny. I will probably RNG it in Gen 3 and then trade it up. For that reason, we have the option of doing some transfer moves. Or if we want to go super far with it, we could even do egg moves. So let's take a look here. Let's also take a look here at Wigglytuff. So we could do Wish, we could do Stealth Rock. I don't think we want to do that in a playthrough. So the Wish moveset looks a little bit more appealing. Let's take a look at how it gets Wish. It's an egg move, so we are gonna do a Wish Wigglytuff. We will probably not give it leftovers though. We do want it to have Cute Charm though. We do not have it yet, so it doesn't have a nickname, and it will be Calm Nature. There's no section here for transfer moves, but I know that it has some transfer specific moves. Should I check the Gen 5 one? I think I remember this section existing, like a transfer moves section in Gen 5. Yeah, Gen 3 and 4 only moves. We could give it Dynamic Punch. That seems a little silly. I've already done a Nightmare one, as cute as that is. Oh, Seismic Toss is a transfer move. Okay, well, we'll keep it there then. See how it gets Heal Bell. That might also be an egg move. It's a move tutor move from HeartGold SoulSilver. So perhaps we will do Toxic or Thunder Wave instead. Let's maybe do Thunder Wave. And as for what to give it to hold, seems like people really only give it leftovers, but we already have leftovers on our team. We could have more than one leftovers holder, or we could actually give it like a Shell Bell or something. Let's do leftovers on Wigglytuff, and we will give Meganium our Shell Bell. Next up is Butterfree. I believe we also will have the opportunity for egg moves here because I don't think it is obtainable in Platinum. So we will be trading in an egg. I'd like to have Compound Eyes, and I'd like it to have Thief actually. So I don't think it should be holding anything. Maybe we want to do Jolly actually. Yeah, we would like to do Jolly if we are giving it Thief. So Jolly Butterfree. It really doesn't get any egg moves, I suppose. So we will just put down Sleep Powder, Stun Spore, U-Turn, and Protect. Pretty simple. Oh, no, wait. Not Protect. We want Thief, the whole point, which it can learn via TM right here, TM46. And finally, Granbull. I suppose Granbull could be the one that has Thief. We could U-turn into it, but I think I like the idea of Butterfree having Thief as well. This is another one where we have access to egg moves because it's not native to Platinum. Is Heal Bell an egg move? It is. Oh my god, another leftovers holder. I like the idea of Heal Bell though. That's fun. It sort of becomes like the anti-team to my HeartGold team. We could just give it like a citrus berry, I guess. What were my options for Wigglytuff again? Because actually, we already have Stun Spore on Butterfree. So do we want Thunder Wave or Toxic on Wigglytuff? And Granbull also can have Toxic. We could do Toxic on Wigglytuff, Thunder Wave on Granbull, and Smelling Salt as an egg move. Should we do that? That could be fun. We'll do Toxic on Wigglytuff, Thunder Wave, and Return. Earthquake would be better coverage, but Return is stab. Return. There we go. Those are all of the Pokemon that we're going to need. So now we can start filling this out. So the first Pokemon is Starmie. And this is also where I start coming up with some nicknames and what I want my nickname scheme to be. For my current HeartGold playthrough, I am doing celestial bodies. So for example, I have a Ladybug named Milky Way. My Bayleaf is named Jupiter. My Jumpluff is Europa, which is one of Jupiter's moons. My Vaporeon's Aquarius. I could extend that, but now I have to do a lot of research into like celestial bodies and what would be the perfect name for some of these. Ooh, list of astronomical objects. This is a lot. Thanks, Wikipedia. So I'm gonna try and not reuse nicknames that I've already used. We should definitely do a star for Starmie. So list of stars. Stars named after people. Should we do brightest stars? Sun. I don't think I've used Vega. It's cute that Vega's in the constellation of Lyra for SoulSilver team. So we could do Vega as Starmie's nickname, and we don't have to come up with a possible. I had to come up with male and female nicknames for some of the Pokemon because obviously Starmie is genderless, so we only need one nickname. Tyranitar is huge, so I believe Tyranitar should be a planet. List of the hottest exoplanets. Oh, these are not cute names. Directly imaged planets. Let's do in our solar system. Saturn would be a cute name for Tyranitar, and it could be either gender, so we don't need to come up with two. Oh, obviously, Ursaring has a moon on it, so we'll name it after a moon. What's a moon within our solar system? Natural satellites are a moon. We could name Ursaring Titan, which is a moon of Saturn, the way that Europa, my Jumpluff, is named after a moon of Jupiter. Let's just take a look at Saturn's moons. Titan or Rhea. Okay, that's cute. So Ursaring will be Titan or Rhea. And Pichu. Maybe Pichu should be a comet. List of comets by type, why not? So it could be Haley if it's a girl. Hallibop. Haley type comet. Lemon with 2 M's. That's cute. It will be Lemon with 2 M's. Haley. After Haley's comet. Umbreon also should be named after a moon. Luna seems like an easy pick if girl. Mimus. It's a crater on the moon. Oh, Charon would be good too. That would be a little weird because I think Karen is already a character in Diamond and Pearl. So what about Nyx? We could do Nyx or Luna. I would like to try and get a girl Umbreon because Luna is just such a perfect name. And lastly, Muck. Muck maybe should be named after a black hole. Lists of black holes. Do we have any fun names for black holes? Cigar Galaxy. The Dark Doodad Nebula. What's a void? Give me a void. Oh, these do not have cute names, these voids. Boots Void. I almost feel like I should name Muck after a man-made satellite because it's basically space garbage. I suppose we could do Corona or Argon. I feel like Corona obviously has a different meaning these days. These dogs, including Laika. Animals in space. Interesting. Do we have American space dogs? Actually, I should just look at the animals in space. What were the space dogs' names? I feel like I can actually just name Muck Mercury after all that. You know, Mercury the element is kind of a blob and Muck is kind of a blob. Okay, that will take care of the name either way. All right, time to copy some stuff into these tables. The IVs will be filled out obviously after I get them and learn what their IVs are. Let's go back here to Staryu. So In SoulSilver, Staryu can be obtained on Route 47, or all of these, let's see, I think by fishing, or it's also available via a Pokewalker course. Let's take a look at what it learns though. We'll decide how we're going to get it after we've figured out how it's going to get all of its moves. So Rapid Spin, it learns at level 10 as a Staryu. Recover, it learns at level 15. HM 6, and I believe Psychic is by TM only, which will be the main roadblock here, because you can only get this in Kanto in the post game or via the Pokewalker, but you can get an unlimited amount through the Pokewalker. It's just very rare, so it's hard to get through the Pokewalker. So I guess for Staryu, we have a couple options. We can obtain by fishing or Pokewalker, evolve anytime after level 15. Only thing that's irritating about getting Pokemon through the Pokewalker is that you can't nickname them until you get to Goldenrod and can rename them because they're automatically not nicknamed. This might be crazy to get Stone Edge much faster if we don't evolve it until 46. Crunch, level 37 or 41, and Fire Blast, I believe it's just a TM, which I think you can just buy. I actually do not see Fire Blast on here. Let's see on Tyranitar's list. There it is, TM38. So how do we obtain our Pokemon? I believe we can get it through the Safari Zone before the post game. And now Ursaring. So as I'm doing this, let's refer to the items / tutors tab here. So what we need so far, Psychic TM, put the number by itself, and a Water Stone. So with just these 2 Pokemon so far, those are all the items we will need. What's up? Editing Tama here. So I know that this was not the most efficient way to set up this spreadsheet, but I wanted to show you that you can actually skip a lot of the work that I'm doing if you just use formulas. For example, if you wanted to count how many times TM26 was used in this column, you can use COUNTIF and then put asterisks around the text that you're looking for, and probably set up a column that makes more sense than just tacking it on to the end here. But right now I'm having it search for TM26. You could check how many times TM29 is used, or what's another one I use a lot? TM90 is substitute. TM90 is all the substitutes that I need to use. So yeah, this would also be much easier to do if you made each one of these moves its own cell. But I didn't set it up that way to begin with. So yeah, I'm sure all of you have a lot more optimization and efficiency tips for spreadsheets, so feel free to share them. I'm always looking to get better at this, but also be very nice to me or I will cry. Thank you. Next is Ursaring, close combat TM. These might all be egg moves. Gosh, okay, these are all egg moves. So we're gonna have to breed this guy. So Double Edge is an egg move. Close Combat is an egg move. I might have to look up how breeding works in this gen. Crunch is an egg move. I think Swords Dance is a TM. Am I right? So okay, Swords Dance is a TM. Lord. Okay, so TM 75. Okay, how we get all of these? So we gotta find some guys that are all in common. So this is gonna be a chain breeding project. I think we start with breeding a Rattata and a Teddiursa to get Double Edge. Then we take that Double Edge one, breed it with a Mankey for close combat. We could probably actually get Crunch from Rattata. So we start with male Rattata with Crunch and Double Edge with female. Okay, I think only males can pass down egg moves, but the species has to be female. I guess we could do a Smeargle. We could just sketch all this stuff onto Smeargle. Okay, starting over. A male Smeargle. Get Crunch, close combat, then breed female Teddy. All right, that's crazy, but that's what we'll have to do to get all those moves. Next is Pichu. Toxic is TM6. Return / frustration is TM21 or TM27. Iron Tail is TM23. Volt Tackle is an egg move. Egg RNG to Pikachu with Light Ball for Jolly Shiny Pichu. Trade over SoulSilver. I think I could probably do that in Emerald fairly easily. Transfer it up in a different game. Trade it over because I already have the Light Ball in Gen 3. Specifically in Pokemon Sapphire, I will be doing that. Umbreon. So Umbreon, unfortunately, learns a lot of these super, super late. Level 29 and Moonlight at level 71. Jesus Christ. Protect is a TM and Payback is a TM. That's the second thing of leftovers, so we'll put 2 on this list now. Or perhaps we will switch the second thing of leftovers with a Shell Bell. Leftovers are for sure going to Umbreon. Starmie is the one that's going to be attacking, so Shell Bell for Starmie. Now let's go to Mach. Gunk Shot we learned at level 44 or 54. I think we'll have to just plan on giving it Ice Punch because we're not gonna want to get a second Payback TM. Focus Punch is TM1. Attract is TM45. Oh, I had never specified where I was going to get Umbreon, so let's go back. So you obtain 1 Eevee from Bill. So receive from Bill, reset until careful. I think I spelled receive wrong. And then Muck. You can get Grimer from the Poke Walker, but I want to make sure. Oh, that's the SoulSilver team done. Next, oh my god, does it not actually learn Leech Seed? It's an egg move. We cannot have Leech Seed. We have to pick a different move. We can just replace it with Light Screen and then give it Light Clay. Oh, Light Screen's also a TM. I'm just gonna put the TM on the list. I believe Thunder Punch is a tutor move, but I can actually teach that before I transfer it and substitute the TM. Dion is Jolly. We finally have our first couple TMs that we're going to need more than one of. So we will add an additional return TM and an additional substitute TM. End my life. So Seismic Toss, I believe, is only a transfer move. How do we get Wish? From Togekiss, where we got the Seismic Toss tutor. We may have used up our tutors already. Or we can get it at the Battle Frontier. That's good. No item, because it's Thief. Take a look really quick at Butterfree. I think this will be fairly easy to get everything. Oh, you can get it in Eterna Forest with Fire Red inserted. Okay, we're almost done with the Platinum team. Heal Bell in return. Does it learn Thunder Wave? How does it learn Thunder Wave? By TM. TM 73. Heal Bell from Skitty. Cool. Now I just need to pick nicknames for Wigglytuff, Butterfree, and Gramble. What would a cute name for a shiny Wigglytuff be? The Butterfly Galaxy for Butterfree? I mean, that's a little on the nose. Should we do constellations? Oh, Pablo's a peacock, obviously. Okay. Would it be weird to name one of them Lyra? I feel like Lyra would be cute. Vulture or an eagle carrying a lyre. Lyra would be cute for Wigglytuff as a girl name. Vega is in this. We already have Vega as our Starmie. So I think for Wigglytuff we will do Altair or Lyra. I think I'd like to name Butterfree after the sun. My reasoning for wanting to name Butterfree after the sun is that not this particular Butterfree, but Butterfree's special move in XD is Morning Sun. So it feels like kind of just a solar butterfly. We could do Sirius if boy and Nova if girl. Well, maybe we should do Sirius for Gramble, but we need a potential boy name. Well, we could do Corona if boy. Actually, you know what? Nova could be a unisex name. We'll just go with Nova. I don't like the idea of using Corona. Now we have picked Sirius for Gramble, and we just need a girl alternative if we get a girl. C. The Dog Star. So Sirius is a member of Ursa Major. I guess I could go kind of ironically with Ursa. I know that it doesn't make sense, but Gaia could be a cute girl name. Okay, let's use Gaia. That's all of these guys done. Next, all we have to do is list our battle tower guys. Scout can be copied over directly from the Emerald table. Now we just need to adjust Scout for this new moveset. It's now going to be holding a Focus Sash, and it's going to be used for the Battle Tower and the Battle Castle, Thunderbolt, Counter, Shadow Ball, and Destiny Bond. Where do you get Counter? Okay, Counter is a tutor, so we can transfer it up. Let's check our tutors. It doesn't say that we've used it. And now we just need Destiny Bond, a new move learned at level 50. So we may just need to do Relearner. And then the Battle Castle moveset for it was Thunderbolt, Energy Ball, Shadow Ball, Destiny Bond. We will reset the color to no fill. Or actually we should fill it with gray so that it matches the rest of them. It exists, but it is not transferred up yet, so it's gray. Blissey will be used in the Battle Arcade and the Battle Tower. Seismic Toss, Counter, Aromatherapy, Soft Boiled. I think Counter might also be, well, counters an egg move, so is aromatherapy. Seismic Toss might be a Gen 3 only. Yes, it is. So this needs to be bred in Gen 3 and then transferred up. How do we get aromatherapy? It's an egg move. Male Roselia, Chansey in Gen 3, aromatherapy. Use Gen 3 tutor, Seismic Toss. How am I gonna get all these moves onto this guy? I guess I could teach counter in Gen 3 as well. I think there's kind of no other way to get aromatherapy, so it has to be a tutor. So that's the Battle Tower Pokemon. We get our Garchomp, who is going to be in the arcade, the castle, Stargazer Masters. Yeah, all three. I never picked an item for the battle castle for Garchomp. Here's the battle castle. What is Garchomp holding? Oh, it's like a lot of berries. I don't really understand that. That's a lot of berries. Jesus. I don't know if you get the berries in the castle or not. Castle's probably the pyramid equivalent. So I don't need to worry about actually obtaining these. How do you get Gabite? You can get it through the Safari Zone, but probably Wayward Cave is faster. Okay, next. Starmie, my existing Starmie. So add row below, and now we go into our Emerald spreadsheet and we just copy paste over our Starmie that we already have. So I think it already has all these moves, so I will just delete it doesn't need to have a held item at all, and it's only being used in the battle arcade. Geez, you know, it didn't really look like that many Pokemon, but this is a lot of Pokemon. So now I need to get some spec. Got all the choices. I don't normally do this as a marathon. I normally spend a lot of time over a long period of time kind of chipping away at this little by little as a project to do, like for fun, to relax. And so doing it as a marathon is very illuminating because I had no idea how much time I was putting into this. I try not to sit still for long periods of time, so this is like gravity is crushing me. But we're almost done. It's freaking crazy how late in this gen most Pokemon learn things. It's just like not even usable at that point. Wonderful. Okay, this is all the TMs and stuff we need. So now we just need to look up where the heck they all are. Focus Punch, Toxic, Hidden Power, just say Lake of Rage, Burned Tower. So for the TMs, even if I only need one, I'm going to mention if there's a repeatable place you can get more than one, because it's good to know in case I end up wanting to use that move again. So far, this is all very good. Iron Tail. Okay, we need 4 Earthquake TMs. Is there a repeatable way? Oh, you can buy them for battle points. Thank God. But also, pickup helps. The good news is I already have a pickup Pokemon that's level 100. In fact, I have 5 of them. So I raised them in Emerald specifically to get Earthquake TM. So the good news is I can just transfer them over, farm Earthquake TMs the same way. It's a pretty reliable way to do it, really. So return. I don't know if the TM you can get from the department store is repeatable. It is. It's repeatable in RSC. So I don't know if it's repeatable. Otherwise, I guess we could just buy them from Celadon. Unless it's also like a repeatable TM and sell it on the same way. Do not know. How many psychics do we need? 2. Okay. Route 221 and Fire Blast. I think you can just buy. Yes, Aerial Ace and Mount Mortar. I love that I actually don't need multiple Aerial Ace TMs, but in this generation, you can get many of them. I needed a ton of them in Gen 3, where you can only get it from beating Winona. Thief, Energy Ball. I think it's good to note, even if I only need 1 Energy Ball, that you can get it without BP and Platinum, because I would rather get it there than spend the BP. Dragon Pulse. So I only need the 1. I do. Recycle. Donut. So hang on though. Who was it that needed Thunderwave as a TM? I think it was a Pokemon that I actually wanted to use. So I'm gonna want Thunderwave a different way for Gramble, actually. If we're transferring up anyway, where is the Gen 3 Thunderwave TM? Hang on. Is there no Raid Thunderwave TM over? I mean, that's really the only way we're gonna do this, because unfortunately, it's the only way to get Thunderwave is with battle points. So I'm gonna have to start the battle frontier before I start Platinum if I want to have Thunderwave early to take advantage of Smelling Salt. But now I'm curious, how did it get Thunder Wave in this generation. So I know it could because it did that. There was a Snubble that used it in Coliseum. Oh, it's a Fire Red move tutor. Okay. I still think trading the TM over is the best solution then. Okay. Continuing. Swords Dance. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to play so much Voltorb Flip. Dark Pulse can be found in Victory Road. Rock Slide. U-turn. Substitute is TM90. We need 4 of them. Hooray! We're almost done. Woo! So this is all of the TMs. Luckily, I only need multiples of a couple of them. In Gen 3, there were fewer moves to go around, so I ended up needing multiples of many more TMs. For example, I needed 14 Earthquake TMs. I needed 9 Rock Slide TMs. Oh no, sorry, 9 Rock Slide Tutors. That's a lot of battle points. I needed 6 Ice Beam TMs, 7 Thunderbolt TMs, 7 Aerial Ace TMs, and this was the only way to get them, was beating Winona, finding one on Route 9, or getting one in Mount Battle. That was a difficult thing. I had to play through many games many times. Woo! This is much more manageable. Now I just need to find, I know where the location of some of the evolution stones are. I think we only need 1 metal coat. Acquisition. SS Aqua Kanto Power Plant or Iron Island. You can also get them many ways through repeatable methods. Individually list them. Here we go. We need a water stone and a dawn stone. I think berry juice you can only get from Shuckle and held items. Here we go. Main article, berry. Are we gonna get all of our berries? This is not helpful, but thank you, Bulbapedia. There we go. This is finally done. So to walk you through it, we have 30 Pokemon that we're going to raise to be split into 8 teams, and we will need 51 items, and we're done. So now we're pretty much ready to start playing Gen 4. We know which Pokemon we want to build, more or less which challenges we're going to take on, and what items we need to amass in order to do it all. I do want to make it clear that what I personally include in my own 100% playthroughs is not meant to be prescriptive. I'm not trying to gatekeep anybody's sense of completionism. How you spend your time on planet Earth playing a single-player game should be tailored to what brings you personally the most joy or fulfillment. So whatever you want to do, or what objectives you set for yourself, at the end of the day, whether or not you have fun is kind of all that matters. So while this playthrough that we just planned together can be used as an example, and you're free to follow it if you so choose to, it is by no means gospel or the end-all be-all of completionism. For some people, it may not even be hardcore enough, since I just took teams that I found online and didn't plan every single challenge on my own. Do or don't do whatever you want. Make a spreadsheet, don't make a spreadsheet. Just have a good time doing whatever you want to do to whatever degree you enjoy it. Thanks for joining me on this kind of weird and unusual video for me. I'm actually working on some longer essays right now, and nothing was going to be done in time for the end of this month. So I figured, why not try something new? It was either this or a new edition of Top 10 Benches. Today's show and tell item, while I ask you all to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications, is this Game Boy box thing. It's not a lunchbox. I think it's just designed for holding Game Boy games. What I keep in here are all of my Pokemon Game Boy Advance games. This is all because it's a multiplayer game and I don't know anyone else who owns it, so I play with myself.